FPX kicking it off on Icebox. And this pistol, we'll see FPX on the defensive side. I'm not sure that I even want to go near favorites in this, but I think that when it comes to FPX, they're the ones with some pressure on their shoulders. They're trying to defend their title, and right now, it's do or die.
Yeah, they've switched up their comp quite a few times on this map, just slightly, with Zyppan again going back to the KO. Much more early information, but his overall aggression, especially on the attack, might be a little bit more difficult. It might just be a switch to actually help them on this defensive side, though, because if we remember last time, they kind of got smashed.
Yeah, for sure. Look, both teams had their flaws. Let's say that. But when it comes to starting this out, I expect KRU coming in on the attack. This is where they can thrive. If they get this pistol, nice start to it, and it's only XajDish waiting here. That drone should push him way back. And he's got a wall. He won't be able to use it. A good cancellation. That's pretty much site control for free.
Yeah, that almost guaranteed after plant, but it will be an attempted retake coming through from FPX in just a moment. It doesn't even look like they're going to be able to delay. No utility really put out to try and weaken some of these players. They are just looking to go in as a full fight.
They've still got their wall for post-plant, and there's the opening duel with kenzit falling. They need to find an answer on site. Hold on that little bit longer, and look at that. 2 quick kills coming through as players are dancing around the site, bypassing each other. ardiis picks up a side angle for Angel, but it only keeps it into even numbers. 2v2, wall up, and now they've got to rush. They've got to take this fight, and ardiis just won't go down. He's bought enough time. The defuse is undeniable, and the kill.
I don't know, I feel like ardiis has come to play today.
Hey, look, this is FPX things, right? They got their 3 rifles. They're coming in with a Spectre and a Ghost. We heard it on the desk. Mimi was talking about it. One of the first teams to pull this out of the bag, if not the first, and they've certainly been the most successful with these very strange second rounds. They can't afford to lose too many players, which is always the caveat. A very awkward fight in mid. And Mazino's gotten right up close. Luckily, they're more than aware of the space they're giving up. So they'll fight that off. Although, at this point, they're dragging a lot of rotations, faking back to B late. If ardiis goes down, that's a rifle. Oh, and it actually comes pretty close.
Toxin screen down.
Yeah, still, a lot of the time when it comes down to these eco rounds, you want to head into the ASAP just because the range advantage kind of dissipates. The pistol's given an opportunity inside XajDish's corner, not cleared. They've done a lot of damage to a lot of players over on the FPX side, Mitch, but only able to capitalize on one, and that one only had a pistol.
Exactly. Look, they've taken the shields off pretty much everybody, but they want to drop those weapons. That's where the value is found. Angel's going out and about trying to find some more kills. He's got to heal up as well, so a little bit more confident in taking those duels, and they've spotted NagZ. He won't be able to use his pistol. Doesn't have any bullets in it anyways. They'll be
I'm interested to see how FPX have adapted to that, or if KRU are even going to continue to just pressure that B site in the same way, because in the early stages of this map, they've had a fairly heavy A lead.
I like this idea of doubling up, almost baiting Zyppan at the start. And one thing on that, you come up against FPX, we saw the stat pop up moments ago, that they were 2-0 in rematches when it came to Masters Copenhagen. And the reality is, when you beat a team like FPX or lose to them, playing them that second time, Angel, having that second look at your team and how you play it is terrifying.
Also, Boombros doesn't sleep.
Let's
also just remind people of that. He has like 18-hour days and just basically stays up all night to make sure this team is prepared. So anything you did last time, they're going to be ready for.
Exactly.
So that's actually why I think KRU are leaning now more heavily over to the A side. Because, okay, they've seen our B setup quite a lot. Let's throw down the screen on that side and now push into the A side instead.
That's exactly it. Now for FPX, their A retake was tested a bit. We saw it in the pistol round, and it was quite solid hold out of them. A wall up to deny control on that side, and attempting to pull them in, seizes, snake bites, everything on its way. FPX, though, not finding that contact. KRU are patient on this. They're not blitzing in. They've sensed a lot of presence. They want to kill to get them into that site, but now time's starting to become an issue. They've got to get a move on.
Oh, that's not the start they were looking for. Shao already swinging onto Rumper, but Mazino has been able to trade. Takes back to fact. All right, blink and you miss it. Everybody on the side of FPX dies within a second, and ardiis, well, I imagine he's a little bit confused as to what just happened.
Well, he's going to have to double up his kills, and they've spotted him as well. Insult to injury. You've got 4 players looking to take you down and make this bonus round not as costly for them. Already decent damage. And they'll walk out of that.
Might be playing the Sage. It is very much of the battle era. Like, they are both going to be fighting, putting up high numbers, and getting aggressive with this agent. especially on that defensive side, they're going to be crucial. Nonetheless, again, we are going to see some early presence here from ardiis, ready and waiting for the fight.
You've already had that player down below making noise. With the drone coming through, someone needs to break it. If it spots ardiis, this is done. The wall! Ooh. I don't know how much that would have revealed. Again, even with the mini-map at that point, with a wall in that position, I'm not sure. But either way, he is staying in that position, holding the control, and Angel is caught at a sneaky attempt out of NagZ to move through mid. One player down, Rez is online. Going to mid to Rez, though, with a minute on the clock. There's an option to do that. Yeah. Do they want to? And we're seeing right now, it doesn't appear to be the case now. They know that ardiis is here. They know he can't get out, and he's gone.
Good clearance. And actually, Delzik has found another. Catching Zyppan as well. Will they expect the third player to be here? Angel's actually rotated in that little bit earlier after being spotted in mid, but it does seem like they're very aware of this check, and Shao can only do so much.
They've got that res now to bring him right back online. They need more than just a one kill, and they'll find them! SUYGETSU!
This battles. He goes for the player that can kill him in each fight. The res going through, he just ignores.
There's Viper's Pit on command. Had it ready just in case he was going to be hit by that knife, which indeed he was. Now that control is denied completely. Hey, all right, well, you don't want to go towards the Viper's Pit. You turn back, you think, maybe we'll try the B site. And they can't get anywhere near it. And not to their teammates, at least. These players now cut off completely, and they pretty much need Viper to come back. And yeah, get that orb down. No. Oh, we're taking a lot of risks here.
It's like he only has 3 bullets left. Let's try and reduce. Oh, okay. Did they both connect the shots there?
They must have.
Because there's actually an assist coming through as well from Delzik. They've made this one at least a little bit more competitive. The problem is clearing that Viper's Pit is still going to be incredibly difficult. And while ardiis has already been brought back and they've rotated away, so they can't even deal with it.
Hey, these guys have pistols in this round, Tom, and you've already got a tour de force, a Viper's Pit, and a res burned up by your opponents. Already a good round for KRU, to be honest. And now they might be able to get to this site. They've actually got the space to walk up. And what happens when that Viper's Pit goes down on B? I think FPX are starting to make that realization. They need to be here. The duel, and duel they shall. Delzik, if you're going to pop the ult, you're doing it practically alone. In fact, not alone. No, that's an awkward fight.
Who are you and what have you done with Shao? Right, that man doesn't miss easy shots. Okay, ardiis is going to make sure that they're not going to get away with too much more. NagZ has already had to retreat and actually pulls out the tour de force. Man thinks he can win. He was wrong.
Hey, I love the confidence. Sometimes you got to just believe, but that faith was clearly misplaced. Not use it.
This time we see that proper battle. Ult economy, though, actually quite heavily in favor of KRU here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. FPX had this opportunity to be massively ahead at this point, to be able to challenge pound for pound with most of these ults, but they used so much of it to secure versus an eco, and then someone like ardiis will just come through. Opening duel already secured, KRU on the back foot. The player they lost is kenzit. You're not taking ardiis' utility away. He has got a way out for the rest of this round, and he is currently not looking for a way out. He wants to try and catch some kills. Eventually he'll reposition. From here, I mean, it just becomes a time drain on KRU. Where are they going to take it? I'm not even sure they know. They're faking out B with a drone. They've got a wall to play with there. And hopefully that drags FPX rotations. But as we can see, it is not.
The thing is as well with the composition switch, like you're going to need much more in terms of the Rays being aggressive. Whereas with the KO, you can basically just use that knife for information. You can pop flash into angles. There's a lot less risk in everything that FPX are doing. And then you've also just got ardiis roaming the map. And while he's got support from Zyppan, this is looking worryingly easy at this point for FPX. They've had multiple individual duels. They have taken themselves a 3-man lead, and no space has been garnered whatsoever for KRU. They're stuck in the mud, and you have to bear in mind that both teams won 9-3 attacking halves last time around.
Not the start that we need for this team. And, you know, when you see some of these duels and how annoying ardiis has become, a player we highlighted, of course, we highlighted the last time he played.
10 seconds left.
Went nuclear on Fracture. The reality is, when you look at the position they're currently in, they might not even get out with a rifle. Oh, almost serves as a bait. Now he's back over to B. You can't be safe no matter where you go.
Yeah, and you can see building up for maybe a slightly faster paced takeout from KRU. I think they need to do that. At the moment, they've been allowing FPX to sit back, patiently Wait, was there something behind that? Was there any information, or did XajDish just decide to take a shot at the perfect timing? He has also been having a very solid game. kenzit has been able to get one, but even still at the back of this site, he's just causing them issues. Even takes a third with him, and now only the stingers remain.
Still that pit online that could be dangerous, and Delzic's got another kill. There it is. The pit's going to be used, and this is the right moment for it. You're up against ardiis with an operator. Not going to be easy for him to garner that value. In fact, he will abandon that scoped weapon where he's found so much success. The man is equally as capable with a rifle. This isn't easy, but having to fight into that pit, it makes Mazino's stinger an op almost if he manages to catch you at the right time.
Even just trying to slow them down and misleading them as well. That slow, they know exactly where that came from. So you can see all the angles that are needing to be cleared, and Mazino is just patiently waiting for this push to come around the backline. So as you mentioned, if they go into this pit, the more deadly he becomes by the second. The timing, though, has gone desperately wrong. He's still going to spot out Shao. Too easy off the back of the SMG, and ardiis has no choice but to fade away and save. A big round coming out of KRU, one that they almost definitely shouldn't have won, and it's something that might also call into question the defensive side of FPX, even though you might look and say, it's 2 and 4. The differences in the way that they're playing are massive.
I mean, even just a round or two ago, they used the fatal to detect the fake. They threw it out because they're like, okay, these guys are telling us we're coming B, you're droning, you're walling.
Info already.
Now there's only 2 guys there, and here, again, that information found right off the bat. KRU pumped the brakes.
Look at the aggression on A. It's a push and pull. Like, they go, okay, we know there's 4 people here. There could be maximum 1 player on the other side of the map. Let's just aggressively take A control. We can already rotate. We've got 3 players in, 1 holding mid. Like, this setup is purely off the back of 1 KO knife.
Oh, no, Delzic. He spotted him. He's seen him. That's at least the information, but how do you challenge ardiis from that angle, on that range? Delzic, the man with the wall, surely not the one to go forward and swing out. I saw him just jump peek it, but that's about all, just to make sure he wasn't getting up close. They'll grab a plant out of that, and that's a very successful push for KRU. Still with the wall to use right now.
Yeah, just placing it down just to try and, again, delay them on the rotation. They've done well here. Just almost disrespected the KO ult and get that space instead. The afterplant is something that KRU are fantastic in when we saw them previously, and now NagZ can almost sit back and wait for the fight. He's going to connect, but I think it was only a leg shot.
All the defuse was tapped, but the kills are coming through. Hunter's Fury to confirm they're not on it, and we reset again. More passive. It could have been, but they went out. They wanted to take some of these fights, and now they're forced into the angle. Zyppan.
Expecting them to actually stick that plant. And again, that's where KRU have been so strong, is those B-site afterplants. They've been fantastic. The interplay, the synergy, even the utility at times has been very, very good. That's what FPX has tried to deny throughout this game, and this is the first time they failed.
Taking a look at the A side passive. Obviously, ardiis looking to get a kill, fall back out with the operator. The rest of the team, they're stacked up and now looking to get aggressive. They've only got pistols to play with, so why not? Low HP, thanks to the C's. Fantastic start. 1-to-1 trades in a round like this, especially when ardiis is floating around with that operator to recover, is great. But if you keep going forward, you're running into a firing squad. You'll lose the site. They'll walk in and plant, and ardiis then has to save. Instead, they reset. They pull back, try to find some opportunities elsewhere, and really, I think, just cross their fingers and hope somebody walks into that operator's line of sight.
Instead, they're going to look to push down into this B-side. As I said, they had so much success there prior, but the spam from Shao has actually managed to completely remove kenzit from this scenario. Now, they do manage to get themselves to blow, but again, Shao just swinging. These sheriff shots have been nasty. He had a few whiffs earlier, but instead, he's already managed to force back another. A 3v2 in favor of FPX right now.
And it's Shao then peeking and getting that up to fire and fall back. It's given ardiis the angle, but now, oh, he's actually gotten him through the pit. NagZ has to get on there. They tap the defuse. They could be on it, and they're not. He's found that out the hard way, meeting ardiis' sheriff. This round played so meticulously by FPX from the get-go.
It was an instant headshots, and he's now shown us why.
I didn't see him collat headshot anybody, so that's...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Below average.
He needs to wake up. Where's the 3K collats? Come on. 3 rounds left to secure it. And look, for KRU, as you said, last time this was an attack side heavy map. Now, these teams have had to go back to the drawing board. They're both intimately familiar with how they each played last time. It's a whole new world here. I wouldn't be surprised to see KRU have that resurgence on the defensive side, but from what we've seen so far, FPX have looked incredibly clean. KRU have had some good rounds. We need to see that consistency, and now their economy's against the wall. They're very mixed bot. It'll be hard to find value in this round.
Shao's in position. He's actually got the res online, so even just taking this angle seems a little bit risky, but at the same time, with 4 players already backing up, you've got positioning as well from Shao and SUYGETSU, mid being held as well, and they're just being able to delay. The knife doesn't actually manage to take away any of the utility on the other side, so now you're seeing snake bites and slows even being thrown in, and they've only got 35-second mid. They have to move soon.
They absolutely do, and Shao's gone. Quick trade, SUYGETSU gonna hold on back yellow as long as he can. But that timer, it might not be so much of an issue, not with the space they've carved out for themselves. The plant, the wall being broken open, but I think we're still safe. The spike is gonna go down. So will the player planting, but they've now got the time on their side. They still need to win the duels with disadvantages. kenzit, he has his ult. More importantly, he has the Vandal. We've lost Klaus, the pistol player, for a bit of information, but the trade is there with ardiis gone. They're holding on strong. Stronger than expected. It's only Angel left, and delzik.
Teams and, well, these two fighting out.
I wonder who would have had that, huh?
Do you even do pick'ems?
I did this time. It was more depressing than I had imagined. Okay, no TP. ardiis is kind of in trouble here. He's got the op for the team. Now next round, he'll have his tour de force. So he's missed the shot, but Shao, he's made a bulk. ardiis, what's happening?
He used up all his power in the first few rounds, it seems. A few whiffs that might actually cost them. Mazino's managed to find Angel trying to be a bit cheeky, sneaking through. And the remaining couple, well, SUYGETSU has at least managed to get a rifle. He's had some nice rounds so far in this game, but this would be a lot.
It wasn't pretty to start us out there. It'll be a completely different round that we're facing into. A few missed shots and leaves it down to economy damage, which in the final round ain't gonna matter that much. Okay. SUYGETSU? He was almost in trouble.
I think it's financially they can buy. So even if he's just earning up a couple of ult orbs, it might actually be worth it. But it seems like just holding that rifle through into the next round is going to be the point of call. Although he's actually gone back in. As I said, it doesn't make...
Well, this round here, ardiis, he has his tour de force, don't worry.
And a stinger.
He's not playing the stinger. We're going to go right away in for some aggression, but that's a problem. Couldn't use his ultimate if he got caught.
Take flight.
He got out of there just in time. But again, once they forced him back, that's where I feel like ardiis hasn't had the same level of success. And I think over the last few rounds, KRU have done very well just to remove him from the scenarios he wants to be in. Like in the early rounds, think about how far forward he was getting his openers. Now, he has to TP away before he can even take a shot.
And already you see a drone burns up one of those bullets. Mazino spamming the ice wall again, costs another bullet. He wants to blind fire through on the angle when it breaks. Came close, but no reward for his troubles.
Out of charges.
Come into this last minute of the round, and KRU are set on the A side. They will be coming in here. But that's just been spotted. Ult's receiving all of the information. Mazino gonna be in trouble here with the Hunter's Fury, catching most of them. I mean, they're all stuck inside these little angles on the way in. Angel falls right away. ardiis only good for one. It looks like we might have a strong spot to play from for KRU. At least equalizing, but the spike's down in the open.
Oh,
what
no!
an aid!
He's gone down, and it leaves Mazino alone. We saw him pull off a 1v4, but as this seen before, 2 shouldn't be too difficult for SUYGETSU. Just
sounds in it. This pistol could bridge the gap. Certainly, if you're KRU, that's what you're hoping for. ardiis on a 3-0 first kill to first death. I think that's been tangible. He's been decently.
I think most of the time
they
were forcing him back with utility, so
yeah,
it wasn't they were killing him off, and I think the KRU made some decent adaptations. I do, however, think they need the pistol. Like, last time they were fighting from an advantage, still didn't manage to take it over the line. Now they're fighting from a disadvantage, and well, they've got one in this round as well.
Straight away, Angel the one finding that kill. He took a shot, but he gave one better. KRU gonna be forced into a retake. That wall alone should cost them so much time, but with an orb and a snake bite down, they're kept back for a moment. Still, in the end, you see this wall is buying them more than enough space. They've lost ardiis in the meantime, though. A valuable pick for KRU, taking that headhunter out of play already.
And they actually going to play around the wall? They're going aggressive. The flashbang through, but it doesn't catch Delzik. Even still, the trade back, but Mazino keeps the advantage in their favor.
Viper wall saving them a little bit almost. What a shot from Shao! The right click was working. Mazino is able to return it and take that third kill, closing out the round and getting that much needed pistol for KRU to start this comeback.
Yeah, I like the idea from FPX for the team as they try to get in, so it'll be interesting to see if he's going to be able to move himself even further up the scoreboard.
Snakebite to deny early control. KRU are looking to hold the spot on B. They know there's two players here now. If you're on the side of FPX, you know that you've just spotted a chamber. You had a snakebite come through moments ago, but they weren't ready for him to be tucked in that nasty little corner. Some more damage delivered by Delzik, and this eco not off to a fantastic start. They at least got the orb for their troubles. But outside of that, your bulldog on Klaus locking down mid, but on the sites, you gotta get close. You gotta tuck into those corners. Now, it looks like exactly what you said, Tom. That B push has come through. They're now up close. But the thing is, they were heard putting down that anchor. I'm almost certain of it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, knowing he's there is one thing. Clearing him is
Yeah.
It's going to be a very different one. Getting into that position is going to be difficult. You can already see the rest of the team just stacked up outside A, waiting for some sort of aggression. It's very patient from FPX at this point. A team very happy to hold on to their defaults. The fact is, though, KRU really aren't giving them anything other than that aggression onto the B site. It's actually quite a passive hold. They are reliant on NagZ to get the job done. And it seems like he's going to have that first engagement, and he's going to win it. Was that the spike?
That was the spike. Angel's been dropped the rifle on the floor, and
I have the spike.
well, the spike will be recovered as well. Now we move somewhere as FPX. I see players are actually creeping up on A. The spike being dropped and a little bit of noise made has dragged rotations. It's dragged a lot of rotations, Tom. I mean, obviously, when you're playing these low lies, you'll be much quicker to jump onto a site and try to stack up, try to use numbers to your advantage. Unfortunately, that means that FPX should be able to get a plant in here, although they're under a lot of pressure. The wall's broken open!
Oh.
Shao has just broken open the round! What a beautiful double!
Yeah, they relied on Mazino's wall to maybe try and push them into position. A nice couple of kills, though. Swinging back almost instantly. This round is looking far more competitive than maybe it should do, and the timing has worked out wonderfully for NagZ. It's going to go down into the 1 versus 1. Xajdish with a huge weapon advantage here, and only 5 bullets left to try and get something done with the Spectre. He's going to have to switch over to the Sheriff, but the shots just not connecting. Needs 1 to that head, and it's going the other direction. Just 3 HP, and eventually...
Like, that was maybe overlooked. But in the panic of the moment, that's understandable. 8-7, full buy coming through for both teams, but all their money is now on the table. This is the one that defines who gets that strong start, because ultis will start coming online, and if you've got those rifles for the next round, well, that's an inherent advantage your opponents will not have.
Power of the Fade. Prowler already gone. In fact, Angel is without a lot of utility at this point. It's looking like they're really trying to pick up the pace, at least early in this round, but after not getting the success they wanted, they've actually fallen all the way off. A full rotation almost coming in. 3 players on the A site. 1 actually, well, in fact, 2 kind of watching into mid. I like that, though. They throw out the drone. It still gives them some information that there's players close, but they've now started to rotate back. KRU not falling for any sort of ruse here.
Yeah, having that trap and the mid control that they've spotted out is allowing them to move elsewhere. I mean, the problem is we've seen KRU get into those aggressive spots around here. Like, they're going to spend so much time clearing these angles. If KRU get the read and make that rotation, they could make it so difficult to get that plant down. But FPX seem to be storming the castle at just the right time. There's actually a white beam coming out. They've gone straight into the spawn! And that duel was not expected! That's completely caught them off guard, and every fight is going into FPX's favor. NagZ eventually answers back. It's 1, but there's 3 more players to find, and a Viper's Pit to battle into.
Yeah, I think even with a couple of players facing a little bit too aggressively, just with the amount of time left, a Viper's Pit to play up against, and a little bit of utility, but an operator onto NagZ, it's not going to be worth the risk. So just going to fall off. A 9th round will be bought. I do really like the fact, you might look at Angel there and you think, Oh, it's a fade. Swinging very aggressively. He'd used all his utility.
Yep.
The only thing he could get is the Haunt back online, which that late into the round really wouldn't have had that much value. So he just throws himself in as the entry fragger, lets the team set up behind him because you have that distraction. You can then have the Viper's Pit in, and then there's not really that much chance of a loss of the round.
Running in, because what else am I doing? 9 to
Especially
7.
in this composition as well, where you
Yes.
don't have that out-and-out aggressive agent to do that.
You just need someone who's bonkers, and Angel ticks those boxes. NagZ, I mean, we saw this exact position work out so well for ardiis. Will FPX use utility?
Yeah,
well, they
every
will.
round.
Right away, and he's in trouble. That was a tag.
Yeah.
Zyppan down to 50. I think he's gotten out of that situation smelling of roses. He should have smelled of something else.
This is a weird purchase as well. Like, this is somewhat of a half buy alongside the rifles they had. We've seen the Stingers bought up quite regularly throughout this tournament from the Chilean players, I will say. Or maybe an Argentinian thrown into the mix as well. It's still going to be the setup into the A site. And there's a couple of players pushing very close through this, but they're going to be spotted up and have to pull back.
All the control now taken. ardiis up top. He's got teammates swarming the site. They still need to find those duels, carve out a bit of map control for themselves, and little do they know how many players are waiting or the dangers
Down A.
that are there. The op has
Okay.
picked another. This is starting to look pretty poor. FPX need to get a duel on their side. Pop the ultimate to try and bridge the gap slightly, but short of a big fight here and now, this is going to be tough to hold on to.
The thing is the weaponry. There's a huge disadvantage at the moment
Oh!
for KRU. Well,
Remaining.
ardiis just turns it back into their favor. It's left all onto Mazino. He gets the timing almost perfect, but Zyppan off, and that's exactly what FPX need.
Well, that's it. He had a few whiffs. That round where he whiffed twice, that was more than, I think, the entirety of the tournament so far. Like, it was shaky. But oh, that fight on mid is won by NagZ. Of course it is. Of course. What a fantastic flick. And well, the man that we say is going to get a little bit
Oh, that's just me.
into rhythm
That's
is now
just
being
me.
killed twice in a single round.
I like
And
how Kesnet
they
steals it as
triple
well.
up,
Remaining.
quadruple up. Every kill is theirs. My God.
Yeah. Just catching every single fight. Delzik really...
Isn't it? It was a fantastic plan on the mid crunch, but if Delzik
You want to
falls
play?
without a
Yeah.
kill,
Let's play.
without two, that round is recoverable for FPX. He has single-handedly locked that one down for them and given them the lifeline they needed. They're now 2 behind, but FPX are on a bit of a weakness. Obviously, ardiis has got his tour de force. But we've seen that be stolen out of his hands a few times. Luckily, the knife already out. It's on the other side of the map to him. And as his teammates can't really do too much about this, and Mazino's stuck down below.
Yeah, isolated early. There were a couple more players here, but were forced out by that nightfall. And now ardiis is posted up on an aggressive angle. The thing is, this is going to be a position that's very, very difficult for them to clear. They have a Viper's Pit, but they need more space before that can properly be used.
Yeah, they have got a retake wall to work with at the very least, and now a utility taken out of ardiis' hand. No operator for him, no tour de force anymore. He's got to wait, and he won't be able to survive long enough to get it back online. NagZ on a tear, taking head after headshot, and oh, he's going to drop down below. He's heard the steps. He knows at this point they've got to sprint, they've got to run halfway already. XajDish needs to round the corner, and he's being defused under.
Distance down to 1, but more importantly, all those ults are gone for FPX, and their weapons are slipping.
All those ults are gone for FPX, and on KRU's side, not so much. They've got 2, about to have 3 online. And they're close to equalizing. On the verge. Win this round. FPX have no money, no ults to make up for it. And a lead is essentially yours. The weight lifting from KRU's shoulders, but they still need to handle this one. Great utility destruction, and a nice shot from Kesnet.
Yeah, it's not been his best game, but I think if they take the map, he's not going to mind. Mazino's normally so solid from those positions, but he's isolated out. The early fight that benefited them so much quickly diminished, and again, there's nothing to really get them back into this position. They've been able to take out SUYGETSU, and KEZNET's just going! His teammates not particularly close behind. In fact, they're going in 1 by 1. Just picked apart. It's not what we expected to see from KRU, especially after the last couple of rounds. And while NagZ, he's now just trying to hold on to that operator, bring something through with him, and instead, he chooses to fight.
Detects them, and he's like, screw it, they can't use their util, I'm going to send it right now. And as it proved, that was the wrong decision.
Oh, the Viper's Pit. We've been waiting for it to be used, and now is definitely a good time to do it. Delzik has been fantastic so far in this map. The thing is, though, they're almost just choosing to avoid it on the other side. It does push them in towards NagZ, but he doesn't have the greatest of weapons for this fight.
No, this probably isn't what you're looking for. The Bulldog, the Headhunter, some chances, some opportunities, but he's mainly relying on Mazino. And Mazino is playing there with a Spectre. He's going to grab the information, maybe the distraction as they attempt to come out.
No charge.
Almost paid for it with his life. And they're going to clear back yellow. I mean, now they've already put the knife down. And NagZ, okay, they'll just run it back. They'll make it out safely. Map control for FPX, but they would have liked to take a player down here for sure.
I'll find you.
Again, Angel looking to try and garner some space. Zyppan, he's spotted the angle. That's already going to be 1 to his name, but he can't quite correct onto the second. Angel again, though, just trying to pressure deep. I don't know if they're going to expect it to be. In fact, they have absolutely no idea. And the snakebite has done so much damage to the res as well that NagZ is now tagged desperately low, just needing to try and clear this aggressive position from the IGL. Bear in mind, the rest are already looking to try and wrap him from behind, but Angel is just doing absolutely everything. He's finally gone down, but look at SUYGETSU. This is where he decides to pounce.
This is beautiful. I mean, his teammates need to hold on, though, because the angle, it isn't great. Now he's having to speed it up. The wall going down gives him the angle. The 1v1 that it comes down to, but the wall is blocking him off. He needs to sprint as fast as can be, and this time, Klaus faces.
To get into the afterplants, so he's just taking so much space that the plant can go down as a completely separate thing to what Angel is doing.
Last time they lost because of that collat that came through from Shao. Now we have a wall that if it was placed 5 seconds later, they would have won the round. It's soul crushing. From KRU's perspective, kenzit, he's had a tough game so far, but that's tough. That is so much tougher. He got seized, he got naded, he got snake bit. Oh, wow, that is a toxic round coming out of FPX. NagZ, 2 kills. This is winnable. They're trying to fight back into it. The spike only now going down. Plenty of time, but it's still a 2 versus 3. The numbers for FPX and the time on their side. The first kill is ardiis's. And delzik won't last too much longer. That is it. The first map, the pick of KRU, falls into FPX's hands.
I guess he's having a great time, and I don't really blame him, because this was something that we looked at coming into the series again and going, okay, we are now looking at KRU to see what they've done. All they need was minute improvements to be able to take it over the line. That's what we thought, at least. It was, as I said, a 1v3 to close out last time. Well, the fact is this time they've come in, they've had delzik have more with ardiis not being on the jet, but it was what they were able to do with even just like the small amount of KO utility that we would see, like throwing in the fragment to just take that extra bit of space, combining it with the utility in from Shao was just beautiful. And it was stolen by pretty much everyone. So if they have any new ideas, I think KRU are screwed.
Maybe. Well, I'm sure KRU expected they'd be playing this map here. Probably didn't put too much stock in the old xset versus FPX fracture game. They knew that wasn't going to be coming up and avoiding a big problem for most teams. But here on Ascent, ardiis is gone.
Timmy the Turret, it gets the opening kill. Can we get that as a stat? First kills for Timmy the Turret is currently 1, and everybody else is on 0.
Wow, leading the charge. You love to see it. And indeed, just like Golden Boy said, that Killjoy pick on the defense already giving massive value. The dash in from kenzit. 2 men down. They've yet to clear out the positions. KRU now meeting a bit of a barrier, a bump in the road. The sea getting a bit rocky. Not a stable cruise. They're losing players one after another. Damage done and well traded out.
The NagZ setup, so that's going to be one side of the map. The other side is, what are we getting from kenzit? Where is Mazino going to be? Like, how far are they willing to push and challenge this FPX side so that they can't get into the places like they just were, where they are comfortable?
That Marshall has been spotted out. First shot ringing was the Marshall, and at that point I think FPX are going to be incredibly cautious of taking ranged duels. Now this buy that they've gone for here, so they've got their 3 rifles, got 2 pistols to back it up. They're expecting to maybe take some more losses than we'll normally see in these pistol rounds with the double light buy. That's some good damage, but there's the Marshall. Swinging through, looking for a victim, getting damage done, but no one there to follow up.
I wonder how early they actually opt to try and juggle this weapon over to a different player, just to make sure that it's not easily going to fall over to enemy hands. The thing is, though, they are starting to take a lot of tags. Mazino now able to get one of his own, and already, just look how many low players they currently are on the other side. The difference, though, is they've still been unable to take anyone, but eventually it is the wall bang with the shorty. You know, you've not seen that one before.
Oh, all the time, of course. The penetration value of those bullets is way up there. I would love to say
For other teams.
yes.
Like, they don't manage to pull it off in the same manner. So, yeah, it must be infuriating. But again, just look at the purchases already here. Every single player with a rifle on board for FPX is going to make this one much more of an even playing field. In fact, even kenzit has low shields at this stage after the Marshall he bought. And already they are looking to put some serious pressure on. Nice shot from NagZ, though. Just watching his teammates back. The trade is quick, though, and this leaves delz in a lot of trouble, and the timing couldn't be worse.
They don't know how lucky they just got. Xajdish was low HP, walling up, healing himself, and all that space was given to him thanks to Angel, the third kill of the round, and he'll get 4.
I'm impressed whenever I watch their attacking rounds with just how good they are at actually setting up. You see the paranoia there gives the space over to ardiis to almost run through. And well, they're already just running and gunning. Look at the sheer pace of which they're looking to swarm into this A side. They've realized that their opponents just can't deal with them.
Marshall shot didn't connect. These players, it needs to be to the head. They're all shielded up. They spotted 3 right at the start. I was surprised they even continued the commitment, but wanted to catch 1 or 2 off guard in an angle that wasn't favorable. They didn't, so now the rotations come into play. Angel's going to be lurking up through mid, the rest of the team focusing on the B site, and they've been spotted. Now's the time to make a move, but kenzit's come in. That Marshall, again, it found so much damage in previous rounds. It allowed for a shorty wall bang.
Oh, it's nasty. We don't see the wall too often anymore just because it's something so predictable, but he does it after his teammates have already entered into the site, the focus normally dipping. ardiis, again, like they are doing a lot of damage when it comes to these weaker weapons. They're bringing players low, but again, you have the heals available, not something too normal on this map in general, but that's a big trade. That's actually going to be a rifle likely into the hands of delz, but Angel. Oh, this could be so perfect.
It's so late.
Oh,
they've heard him! But the shot is missed. Angel still ends up coming ahead in that fight. Just ridiculous. A 4K in the previous round, and this one, sure, they didn't have a lot to work with. But KRU, they looked like they were right back into the round, like they do so much more damage, but this man has been on fire in these last 2 rounds. Marshall with a second headshot in the round. I think the
big problem for KRU, and I'm almost surprised we haven't seen like attack pause out because they can't afford for this to go any further. If they lose this round, they're looking at likely a 6-0 deficit. You're basically done.
So we've seen this a couple of times from FPX. That one-way smoke comes down on A main, and they go past it with the Shrouded Step. Angel this time, he ran towards it, and Shrouded Step backwards. Faked it out completely. They keep their players in position. It maybe didn't work as the full fake that they hoped for. Still 2 players here waiting, and now the rotation from kenzit. Flash doesn't actually hit him. Got a decent angle to spam away at, but they wall it up. XajDish's good, just taking advantage of the chaos. Not a chance for NagZ to go undetected there. He had a trail leading them right to him. At this point, a matter of seconds into the round, it's a save.
They're being slaughtered. Like, this isn't even competitive at this stage. The reads that are coming out from FPX are making them look foolish. XajDish's just chilling. And an easy kill in the end. Mazino's still trying to challenge this, but you could just see the sheer confidence on the ground. It's like the Angel Classic, something he's been doing for about 10 years at this point, but they were fooled by it completely.
Good paranoia to start. Pressure on for KRU. Already in a bit of panic stations with all this noise going out. And Angel continuing on his dominance, 9-1 in duels right now. And Tom, you know, I feel like at this point, KRU, oh, they need a hero that flashes them. Fantastic! That's how he dies for the 2nd time.
Oh, God. Wow, this is the most competitive round we've seen. A little bit of re-aggression after the smoke's going down. They're going to be able to retrieve some weaponry off of it as well. kenzit not connecting, though. He's got to be careful. A miss here could give them a chance back into the round, but no. He puts ardiis down. XajDish re-pushing. Now, he does have himself the res, so that's the plan, but it actually takes the fight above it first. Tries to now cover off his teammate Mazino, looking to try and throw the flash in, but instead he's been forced back again. A wonderful shot coming out from kenzit. He goes back for more, though. Maybe a little greedy, and they've been able to hit at least a bit of utility onto Mazino. However,
Crazy. Those tiny little details, they win you duels, but this time they don't win you rounds. KRU have got their first on the board. They're able to buy up nice and neatly here, and they've got so many ultimates in play. FPX don't have that. Their ult economy is lagging behind a little bit. Maybe ahead, I suppose, realistically, but KRU, a ton at their disposal in this one.
Nailed him.
Ooh, well, kenzit actually playing ahead of the smoke. It's not really going to help too much on the FPX side. His confidence in this map, as sort of Bren said, is going to be integral. Like, the first few rounds, I think he was 1 kill up until the last round, managing to get a trip off the Bladestorm, and you can just see the difference in his style of play. Like, really looking to try and challenge in mid, not wanting to give any of that ground up, but especially because FPX, they've played into short A, but they haven't had a massive amount of presence in mid, at least so far this game. They've avoided him almost completely.
That may come in a little bit later, but for now, he's been given a fairly boring task a lot of the time. We start out 40 seconds. Operator recovered. Angel going to make use of his low HP and try to duel around this smoke. Good luck to him. Peek out is caught instantly by Mazino. A flash.
30 seconds left.
They peek on the back of it. They waited for it. Played anti-flash. Still no kill to be found. And there's a little bit of an off angle in play. It's a tough duel to win with kenzit taking heads. But it doesn't look like he's going to be popping it right away. I was seeing the jet chamber battle on mid going down, but no, this is a full commit to the A site. They'll send absolutely everything in. Angel already rounding the corner, but then they pump the brakes.
They all got hit by the knife. I think every single one of them got hit by the knife, so they have no choice but to fall away. And now the null command coming out as well. That utility from Mazino has completely stopped the push. And that's the thing. This is something that FPX have fallen back to, these really fast A takes, because they were having so much success on the entry. It seems like this time KRU are very ready for it.
Absolutely. The information they gained now, though, becomes stale. These players could be literally anywhere. At some point, you're going to want to re-aggress for the info, but they'd actually just put, I think, Klaus threw in a Prowler, saw nothing in B main, nothing outside of B main. They have their turret to watch it. They have made control with the trap. But even despite that, they are playing pretty heavy towards the B side, considering the utility in play. And I think after that early contact, you'll very frequently see NagZ be the only player that's on the B side. Maybe I'll have some help around mid, but they're doubled up, and that might catch them off guard. There's the Fade giving away her position and grabbing so much utility, or so much information for her troubles.
Oh, they're expecting the wall boost this time. The peek out, though, is Shao to trade it, and the spam is not going to really connect onto anything. 2 players still at the back of this site, though, with the TP. That allows delzik to at least help out his team a little bit, but he goes down. I think he had a paranoia in hand. Now just trying to clear out Klaus, and he's gone as well. They had a stack up of players, and they get nothing for it. FPX.
To secure spawn first. There's the spawn peak. We've killed him. Okay, now let's look at the site.
And this is all
one
with
angle at a
15
time.
seconds left.
Yes, that's when players should be like, go and plant! But no, they're like, hey guys, it's okay. Let's first take this, then this, and then we'll plant if we need to. Madness.
6-2. Still, though, the economy that's built up for KRU is going to give them enough. But again, we've already seen this over previous rounds, just what they're able to do with this Nightfall. The delay, though, that's been caused off the fragment might be enough to make things interesting. kenzit has been made to look like a fool, but the trade back from Mazino gives them the advantage once again, but not for long. And now Klaus, this time he has to get something here.
Solid open. Holding under control here. They could be anywhere, and they're showing him that. His teammates coming to spawn. That smoke will be up for a little bit longer. They use it now to cross. Spot a player and mark it! Oh! I mean, that must have been called on the walk down. Klaus was confused. He was caught off guard.
He got one. He actually got NagZ whilst just spamming through the wall. And now it comes back into the 1 versus 1. The Haunt is going to buy the time for Shao for the swing. He was waiting for it. delzik is going to clutch things out, give them their 3rd round. Again, they've been so dicey back and forth, and neither team really able to be dominant over these last couple. Fantastic game. Again, I feel like whoever gets to play Sage for FPX just ends up at the top of the board, which is peculiar.
The battle Sage. But yeah, it's a very valuable agent to have someone who takes duels on. Look at Angel go. Opening up this round, it's kenzit gone, and you know we avoided that mid control for so long, gave kenzit some space, he felt comfortable, and now he's being challenged.
The problem as well is there was some weaker weapons here. Like, you're looking at ardiis basically just playing his headhunter. Zyppan only has a sheriff, but the fact is them getting that opener means that there could be gun retrieval. However, Angel goes down to NagZ. I like the fact that you see the initial push-up from delzik as well. He goes, okay, we need a way back into this round. Let's both just try and find a fight. The second they find that fight, both of them fall back into passive positions. They're not willing to overcommit and try and win the round for their team. They just want to try and equalize things.
Happy to pop the reset. Now, FPX have done that too. They've sent ardiis over to short to retrieve Angel's weapon. And with the rifle in hand, his lurk is on. He's moving through mid. They've spotted players in B main. This is the one gap. It's wide open. With kenzit gone in this early round, that pick that Angel found might just have opened the door for ardiis to walk through. He's sneaking into spawn as we speak. It seems one kill is guaranteed, and that it is. Now the pressure's on. Mazino has to run because he can't stay in spawn. There's a guy behind him. Maybe he'll have the timing though. No, they're watching it. Never mind.
Yeah, again.
100%. Yep, this was patient play by FPX. They looked for a gap and they found it. Gave themselves the time. That's interesting. One-way smoke, turret, judge up close. If Angel dies to this, I think he'll be traumatized. Oh, that's such a great knife. If they pursue it too much, well, they'll end up going down. I would have thought. delzik, though, was dealt with without doing anything, and kenzit is just stuck.
He might not even get to use his Blade Storm for the entirety of this round. No command in. They're baiting out these ults, but I don't think FPX are going to mind an attempt. A failed one at that, just trying to get rid of SUYGETSU. And finally the Blade Storm's online. He's had to use all of them just to get rid of that one.
You can delay even slightly. It's actually because ardiis is on his way into your spawn.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's playing into FPX's hand either way. This has been so tough for a team. Look, they didn't pick this map, but they're strong on it. They're strong on the defense, and KRU now in a lot of trouble. This final round, I mean, they need it. And then they need the pistol to follow it up. I mean, it's hard to imagine FPX defensive side ardiis now starting to get in the rhythm a little bit, and now you put him on defense. He won some of the previous maps on his own.
But the thing is, after the failed sort of mid control, kenzit actually just goes straight into playing on the B side. The thing is, they've early broke the turret, so he now has to go roaming around just in fear that they've actually gone back in the other direction. And you can see on the other side, they're expecting a level of aggression just to try and find out some information. Good use of the fragment to at least delay, but it doesn't last for long.
delzik in the corner, great paranoia, but somehow ardiis still gets that kill. The trades come in thick and fast, and it's KRU who seem to be ahead. kenzit getting out of there with his life, but he didn't land the shot. He didn't find another frag, and instead the plant has come down and ult through for information. Did it catch all three? I think so.
Now they're going to turn it back. You can see them trying to stick around ardiis, just waiting to leave at the very last second, but instead he goes down. Still going to be a 3v3 and not for long. SUYGETSU already dropping one. Still a rotation attempting to be coming through from kenzit, and they've still got the information that Klaus has just sat up here. The time ticking. They need to get a move on, and they need to get a move on now, and it's left all on to Klaus. He will get nothing more.
Okay. See what the doctor's order is. Well, let's see. Jet pill for kenzit. See if his jet fuel can bring him across the line. Here we go, 1:35 on the clock, and immediately KRU are blitzing into B. They're making a lot of noise, dragging this push out of Angel, but Angel could be in danger. What? NagZ had gone back, he's left it. Ends up with a trade? I mean, that's better than it should have been.
Zyppan's actually the one to get the kill from behind him, and he's stuck around. He's in fact going for a little bit more, maybe a bit too greedy in this position, but never mind. They are just disrespecting their opponents at this point. They are pushing into mid, and still it comes down to this 1v1 scenario. SUYGETSU, his read, it's so perfect, but he doesn't get the timing quite right. He's going to have to go back around, break the glass, try and wrap back through, running around the edge, and he gets the headshot almost too easy. He's like, it just really isn't worth anything of the sort. Now you'll be happy, it's not quite an Odin, but it's halfway there.
You know what? You know what? I appreciate it, Shao. I really do. The Ares, though,
almost goes down.
The Ares didn't get contact. It's on its way around to mid. Mazino taking Angel. That's a solid start for a round that, again, they did not force buy. This is not a heavy investment. It's not do or die. It's a round that they should probably lose, and instead, they've done a ton of damage already, and we're still in the 4v4. Plus, look at where they're going. They're on B. They're in spawn. Ardiis is about to be stabbed in the back. That's devastating. This Sheriff actually, with low HP on these players, has a good shot on range, but the airy supremacy in full effect. And look at him go!
Come on. Oh, I guess Shao's just decided to make your day. There you go. But ZYGETSU's gone down. Again, this round is still very much competitive. The only problem is the awkward position of the spike. The swing comes back out. Shao has well, I don't think there's many team who wants to play FPX on Ascent.
I mean, they almost got there last time. KRU could have pushed us across the line to this map, but Tom, if this is anything to go by, it wouldn't have changed the result. This has to be one of the best attacking sides we have seen. And to start things out, we're trading damage, but with rifles in play for KRU and FPX playing this as... this is funny, because they are actually playing a bonus round. This is, and I mean this is not an FPX bonus round. It's a bonus round.
Yeah, they didn't even really buy massively into the rifles in the last either, so I think it was a Guardian that was lost and a few other pieces. Delzic's got to be careful here. He can't afford to lose that fight. The Aries still going strong. They actually walled themselves in as bait and then managed to actually take the fight and escape. Even still, though, quite a bit of space found. ZYGETSU the timing completely wrong. Tries to dissipate away and gets caught instead. There's a lot of players here, though, Mitch. 3 players already rotating in towards the B side, and that's where the spike's currently going.
Oh, Mazino's been baited in. The swing out by Ardiis right afterwards. Just that LMG sounding off. It scared them. The spike's outside of B. But they have players coming into A. The site now secured, the rotation guaranteed, but the difference is FPX came into this with scraps, with breadcrumbs. Now they're going to retrieve those rifles, be able to fight back into this round with some actual firepower.
Yeah, they've had to go the long way around. Angel all the way through the spawn just to collect the gun, and actually, Kesney, he was low on HP, desperately low, but wanted to try and find something extra, give his team an advantage going into the fight. Okay, all the players are at least tagged on the FPX side, but they now have a man advantage.
It's not like this, surely. The one time we see FPX take that low by 30 HP. I mean, it has to be Klaus to go huge. He's caught one. At least the trade doesn't come in. He's still stuck out in the open, though, and his teammate's so low. Angel won't get anything done. 3 kills for...
Ults are going to be utilized. Can they get anything done with the null command? Can they take away some of that utility early? The fact is, though, just look at how much map control's being challenged for. Ardiis again just disrespecting this Latin American team. Kesnet has gone early. Angel's going to add to the turmoil as Mazino, the second-hand man, is gone as well.
Yeah, this is KRU spreading out, taking a lot of control, trying to win their duels on angles. It was mid they wanted to fight on, and they didn't get the opportunity. Having lost short, now these players are completely trapped. They're completely surrounded. The Odin's on to Klaus. And with NagZ stuck in the corner, they know exactly where he is. Delzic's the last man alive. The credits are running dry on KRU. And if they lose this round, well, I think they've already lost it. They're going to need
the South American roster, but the fact is they're so far behind. 8 in a row needed, a Blade Storm at least, a few ults to play behind it, but there's the same on the other side.
Bring them down.
And while so far FPX have looked indestructible on this map.
Those 2 Spectres, man, I mean, we need Kesnet to find some opening duels, get that damage in. Zyppan already, same thing KRU were doing to them. Destroy the utility, pop down the nade, wall up now. Both can focus on taking that duel together. The Blade Storm leading the charge. Kesnet has been so good with this ultimate in play, but he leaves, he falls back, gets them to play in a little bit of utility, and then they'll blitz B, but the rotation hasn't come through either. They know that now. The ultimate's given them all the information they could possibly need. Over on the FPX side, they tuck in, they wait, and now the Odin comes through, bringing it to bear on his opponents. Ardiis will drop Mazino, Ardiis will drop another! This is unbelievable stuff from Ardiis and Ace to close out the map! They were already down and out, but he has just destroyed them, sending KRU back to Latin America.
Oh, the mate didn't even look like he broke a sweat at the end. Look at him, bitch, just walking around with his mug. He's just closed out the game in style, and it's like nothing ever happened. You have to feel bad for KRU at this point. They've lost twice to the reigning champions in this tournament, and that's what sends them home. But that's the thing. FPX, they never seem to take the easy route. They always like a little bit of a tougher time to make sure they're ready for that playoff stage, but they make it in the end. And on this map, honestly, I don't know if there's any team in the tournament that want to try and face them here on Ascent. They look clean all the way through.
It's not like you get much of a choice. What are you going to ban? You ban Ascent, you play Fracture. Good luck to you, my friend. Good luck to you. This team, there's a reason they're the reigning champs. We were shocked to see them go down in the fashion that they did. Would have been shocked to see either of these teams go out, to be honest. KRU have been such a staple of international Valorant. But here today, especially on this last map, they were outclassed.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I really want to give credit to KRU in the fact that both times we've seen them play, they have taken the fight to this FPX squad. They have taken the fight, especially last time. Bear in mind that even on the map Bind, which they have not been particularly good at, they basically lost due to pistols. So it was a close game, but this time around we see switch-ups in compositions, we see the depth in agent pool that FPX have pretty much thrived upon throughout their tenure as a team, dating all the way back over the last couple of years. They have shown that depth under Angel. They show it here again today, but when it comes to Ascent, they don't need a change. They don't need to switch up anything about this map because at the moment, they are leading the way of how you play Ascent.
Saw that stat pop up. Last event, they did not lose rematches. They dominated them, and now it seems the same story is being set up. They can continuously take those victories.
Almost the more interesting one is they just don't lose in the lower bracket. You send them down, and they are just going to come back up again.
If they did, they wouldn't be champions.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. They didn't go the easy route at any point. They fought all the way through pretty much all of the teams that beat them along the way. And while this time KRU, as said, they are the unfortunate victims of FPX. They are the champions. They're not done just yet, and they're going to go back into the playoff stage. And although we would have loved to see KRU there, it's safe to say I'm very happy FPX are going to continue to defend their title.
It must be a scary thing being a KRU fan, just looking at groups come out every time, just thinking, come again?
Well, it's like last time, they were a limit of they got sent down by one of the defending champions as well, right? With Optic, like it really is.
They got knocked out by Optic, I think, at the last two events. Like they have been beaten by